Have you ever felt alone in a crowded room surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet felt like you're on the outside looking in? Maybe you've found yourself lost in your own thoughts, wondering if anyone else notices the emptiness you feel inside. Or perhaps you've spent hours scrolling through social media, seeing endless updates and smiling faces, but still feeling a sense of isolation that technology can't seem to fix. Even when we're digitally connected, it's easy to feel invisible, as if no one truly sees us. This quiet ache for connection is something almost everyone experiences at some point. It's a deeply human feeling, and in today's world it's become more common than ever. In fact, loneliness has grown into a global public health crisis, affecting people of all ages and backgrounds. Despite living in an age of unprecedented technological connectivity, we're paradoxically drifting further apart. We can message anyone, anywhere, at any time, but genuine connection often feels out of reach. Loneliness isn't a personal failing or something to be ashamed of. It's a collective challenge that we all share responsibility for addressing. It's a signal that we need each other. Research shows that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of heart disease, depression, anxiety, and even shorten our lifespan. We must bring this issue into the light, talk openly about it, and work together to understand its causes. Only then can we begin to find a path toward healing and reconnection. The journey starts by acknowledging loneliness in ourselves and in those around us. When we recognize it, we can reach out, offer support, and remind each other that we are not alone in how we feel. Feeling lonely is not a weakness. It's a universal signal that something essential is missing from our lives. It's a call to reconnect, to rebuild the bonds that make us human. This is a call to action. Together we can create a world where everyone feels they truly belong, where no one has to face loneliness alone, and where connection is at the heart of our communities. To address loneliness, we must first understand what it truly is and how it shapes our lives. Loneliness is a complex, deeply human experience that touches nearly everyone at some point, regardless of age, background, or circumstance. It's not simply about being alone. In fact, many people find great comfort and inspiration in solitude, using it as a time for reflection, creativity, or personal growth. But loneliness is different. Loneliness isn't just being by yourself. Many cherish solitude and feel recharged by it. The real pain of loneliness comes from feeling emotionally or socially disconnected, even when others are physically present. It's the distressing, involuntary feeling that arises when there's a gap between the connections you crave and the ones you actually have. This gap can make even the most crowded room feel empty. You can feel lonely in a crowd, surrounded by people yet unable to truly connect, or you might feel completely at peace while spending time alone. The difference lies in the quality of our relationships and the sense of belonging we experience. Sometimes being alone is a choice that brings joy. Other times it's a painful reminder of what's missing. At its core, loneliness is the absence of meaningful connection, a longing to be seen, heard, and understood by others. A recent Harvard survey found that 57% of lonely people feel unable to share their true selves with anyone. This inability to be authentic can deepen the sense of isolation and make it even harder to reach out. Loneliness is a form of social thirst, a biological signal that tells us we need connection, just as hunger tells us we need food or thirst tells us we need water. Our ancestors depended on their tribe for survival, safety, and belonging. That ancient wiring still exists in us today, reminding us that we're social creatures at heart. When we're disconnected, our bodies go into high alert, increasing stress and anxiety, and pushing us to seek out others. It's a natural response, not a weakness. This isn't a character flaw, it's a fundamental human need. We all need to feel connected, valued, and supported. The loneliness epidemic isn't about people choosing solitude, but about widespread social deprivation, about people lacking the deep, meaningful relationships that help us thrive. Understanding this gap between what we need and what we have is the first step to empathy and real change. It helps us see loneliness not as a personal failing, but as a signal that something important is missing. When we reframe loneliness as a universal human issue, we open the door to compassion, connection, and hope for everyone. Loneliness has reached public health crisis levels confirmed by sobering data. In 2023, the US Surgeon General declared loneliness an epidemic. The World Health Organization soon echoed this. Nearly one-third of US adults feel lonely weekly, 10% feel it daily. Over 21% report serious, persistent loneliness. Other countries, like Japan and the UK, have appointed ministers of loneliness, recognizing the need for national strategies. Loneliness carries health risks as severe as obesity or smoking. Acknowledging the scale is the first step to mobilizing solutions. The loneliness epidemic has been decades in the making, rooted in major societal shifts. Traditional community pillars, marriage, religious groups, and local clubs have weakened. One-person households have tripled, and community participation has dropped. We spend more time alone and less with friends, down from 60 to 20 minutes a day over the past 20 years. The rise of remote work and the gig economy has reduced workplace connections. Technology and convenience culture, delivery apps, self-checkout, streaming have reduced reasons to interact in person. 73% of people cite technology as a top contributor to loneliness. Each digital transaction replaces a human one, and these missed moments add up. We're more efficient but also more isolated. Understanding these roots is key to reversing the trend. We must rethink how we build community in a digital age. Loneliness isn't just emotional, it's a serious health threat. Its impact on premature death, rival smoking, 15 cigarettes a day. 81% of lonely adults experience anxiety or depression, creating a vicious cycle. Chronic loneliness raises the risk for high blood pressure, inflammation, heart disease, stroke, dementia, and diabetes. Our bodies stay in fight or flight mode, wearing us down physically and mentally. Sleep suffers, judgment falters, and the risk of illness rises. The pain of loneliness is real and physical. Fighting loneliness isn't just about happiness, it's about saving lives. Recognizing these consequences reframes loneliness as a public health priority. We often picture the elderly as the loneliest, but today it's young and middle-aged adults. Adults aged 30, 44 are now the loneliest group, juggling careers, kids and aging parents. Young adults 18, 29 also report high loneliness, while seniors 65 plus report the lowest rates. Loneliness is shaped by modern pressures, not just age. It's also tied to income. Nearly a third of those earning under $30,000 feel lonely compared to 18% of those earning over $100,000. Those with multiple racial identities report even higher rates. Understanding these patterns helps us target solutions. The face of loneliness is diverse. A young colleague, a new parent, anyone feeling unseen. Solutions must be empathetic and inclusive. We're more digitally connected than ever, yet many of us feel more alone. Social media offers the illusion of connection, but often deepens our sense of isolation. We see highlight reels, not real lives, fueling comparison and feelings of inadequacy. Digital interactions often replace deep, messy, meaningful engagement with shallow observation. Convenience technology erases spontaneous in-person moments, ordering online, self-checkout, texting instead of calling. These lost micro-interactions add up, leaving us more isolated. But technology isn't the enemy. For some, online communities are lifelines. The challenge is to use tech intentionally, to foster real connection, not to replace it. We must prioritize deep, active relationships over passive scrolling. Let's use technology to strengthen, not weaken, our bonds. The loneliness epidemic is daunting, but there is hope. The solution is connection, deliberate action at every level, from policy to personal choices. We need to innovate new ways to build bonds in today's world. Communities must invest in public spaces and programs that bring people together. Parks, libraries, events. These third places foster spontaneous interactions and friendships. But it's not just up to governments. We all play a role. The most effective solutions are personal. Reach out, help others, practice self-compassion, dedicate time daily to nurture relationships. Call, meet, check in. Service is a powerful antidote. Volunteering connects us and gives purpose. Helping others shifts our focus from emptiness to belonging. In serving, we often find the connection we seek. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more isolation, disconnection, and loneliness, while the other offers the promise of a culture built on genuine connection and belonging. The choices we make today will shape not only our own lives, but also the future of our communities and society as a whole. The path towards connection is paved with small, everyday moments. Laughter shared with friends, a warm embrace from family, or simply being present for one another. These moments are the building blocks of a supportive, resilient community. Our relationships are a foundational source of strength, helping us weather life's storms and celebrate its joys. They remind us that we are not alone, and that together we are stronger. Choosing connection is not just a personal decision, it's an urgent necessity for our society's well-being. When we come together, we create a ripple effect that can transform neighborhoods, workplaces, and entire communities. The journey starts with reaching out. If you feel lonely, you're not alone. Many people share these feelings, even if they don't always show it. Taking the first step to connect can make all the difference. Be vulnerable, share how you feel. Honest conversations can break down barriers and open the door to deeper understanding and support. If you see someone struggling, reach out and truly listen. Sometimes just being there and offering a compassionate ear can be the lifeline someone needs. Small gestures multiplied can spark a wave of connection. A smile, a kind word, or a helping hand can brighten someone's day and remind them they matter. We must value connection as much as productivity, at work, in cities, and in schools. When we prioritize relationships, we create environments where everyone can thrive. Teach empathy, kindness, and face-to-face communication. These skills are just as important as academic or professional achievements, and they lay the foundation for a more compassionate world. Build a society where checking on a neighbor matters as much as checking off a task. When we look out for one another, we create a safety net that supports everyone. Our goal, a world where everyone feels they belong, where no one is left out or forgotten, and where every person is welcomed with open arms. Belonging means being seen, heard, and valued for who you truly are. It's about knowing you have a place and a purpose within your community. This isn't a distant dream, it's achievable, one relationship at a time. Every act of connection brings us closer to a more caring, united world. Let's choose togetherness for our health, our communities, and our future. The responsibility is shared by all of us, and together we can build a world where everyone truly belongs.